right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tonight, Black Friday shopping for Lou Brock memorabilia. The wife of the late Cardinals Hall of Famer selling pieces from his personal collection.
A nearly perfect Thanksgiving Day will give way to unsettled weather by the end of the long holiday weekend. How that could impact Sunday travel.
But first tonight, duking it out for the greater good.
We fought really, really hard. It wasn't one point where we stopped. We just kept fighting and fighting and fighting.
We're live at Guns N' Hoses, a Thanksgiving Eve tradition. The last fight just wrapped up within the hour. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The competition between firefighters and police raises money for the families of first responders. 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon is live at Enterprise Center, where a sold-out crowd watched them battle it out in the ring, and it is sold out every single year, Brent.
That's right, and you know, year after year, Ann, it's Team Red versus Team Blue. But in the end, there could only be one winner. This year, the police officers coming out on top, but organizers tell me because of your support, the community as a whole is the real winner. Get ready to rumble. The 36th annual Budweiser Guns N' Hoses events drawing the typical big crowds at Enterprise on the night before Thanksgiving.
It's awesome.
Former Arnold police officer Ryan O'Connor is front and center. He was shot in the head on the job back in 2017. You know how many people were there to pray for you and to see you through, and look at you here today.
Yes, I know. Isn't it good? It's good.
He's here right now to cheer on another survivor.
Lucas is fighting.
Representing Team Blue, Lucas Roethlisberger. The St. Louis police officer shot twice in 2 separate incidents.
But you stick with it.
That's right. It just shows my character.
Although he lost his bout, he made a new friend, his opponent, an officer with Florissant Police.
It really is something, and St. Louis does it right every year.
It's about camaraderie, friendly competition, and fundraising. Before Wednesday's events, Backstoppers have raised some $11 million in nearly 4 decades.
If we have a time where, financially there's an issue and we have a public safety officer die in the line of duty, the community will step up, and they've done it every time.
The families who have benefited say the support means the world.
It reminds us every year how lucky we are, especially after coming so close to losing Ryan.
Now, tonight's event also recognized 2 fallen officers, one of them being Sergeant Mason Griffith. He was shot and killed at a Herman convenience store back in March, leaving behind a wife and a young son. Organizers tell me this is why this event continues to meet a need. We're live outside of Enterprise in downtown St. Louis. Brent Solomon, 5 on Your Side.
A somewhat busy night at St. Louis Lambert International Airport as holiday travelers make their way home for Thanksgiving. More than 200,000 flyers are expected to fly through St. Louis over the long holiday weekend. So far, it's been smooth sailing, just a few minor delays. It's also a busy night at airports in Atlanta, Dallas, Seattle, and LA. Despite the large crowds, there are no major cancellations or delays. That's great news. And if those travelers are coming to St. Louis, they're arriving to some pleasant Turkey Day weather. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joining us now with the Weather First Thanksgiving forecast.
Yeah, looking pretty good as we head into tomorrow for sure. Skies cleared out today. Allowed us to have plenty of sunshine. At this point, all the batteries popped out.
Oh, no. Okay, so we're having a little trouble with Scott's microphone, but we do want to let you know for the latest Weather First Thanksgiving forecast, just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. We'll send it right to your phone, and we'll get back to Scott in just a moment. Tonight, a Florissant woman is dead, and the driver, investigators say, crashed into her car during a police pursuit in North St. Louis County, is behind bars. Our Robert Townsend's live outside the St. Louis County Jail in Clayton with new information. Robert.
Mike, I have now learned more about the innocent woman who lost her life, plus what the NAACP is doing in hopes of preventing these tragic crashes. Alicia Ruffin's grief-stricken mother just couldn't talk on camera right now, but she tells me her daughter, a baker at a North County supermarket, was driving to work in North County when she was killed. The 56-year-old Ruffin was a mother of two and a grandmother.
I want to first give my heartfelt condolences to the young lady who lost her life.
Ferguson police say shortly after 4 Wednesday morning, Jared DeBose sped north on West Florissant in a white Mercedes-Benz. Investigators say an officer tried to pull over DeBose, but he never stopped. Police say minutes later, the officer spotted the same car in a Quick Trip parking lot, but DeBose suddenly drove across the street and crashed into Alicia Ruffin's car.
During the second encounter, he activated his lights and sirens right at the Quick Trip, and within maybe 30 or 40 seconds, less than that this vehicle crashed at the intersection.
Chief Doyle says 229 drivers have failed to yield to Ferguson police this year compared to 80 last year.
We're starting to see too many of these in our region, and they're all putting not only the officers at risk, but putting innocent community folks at risk. And this has to stop.
It's tragic.
The president of the St. Louis NAACP says after 2 years of talks, the St. Louis City and County Police Departments have agreed to their recommendation to explore public safety when it comes to their police pursuit policies.
The departments agreed to continue to research and look for new technologies that would assist in making police pursuits as safe as possible.
And I'm willing to sit down with the NAACP.
DeBose faces several charges, including DWI resulting in death. Tonight, he sits in jail on a $750,000 cash-only bond. Live in Clayton, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
A former St. Louis alderman is now charged with filing a false police report after claiming a woman tried to carjack him. Brandon Bosley recorded the incident in North City last December, and then he shared it online. Police say Bosley lied, and surveillance video showed him hitting this woman with his car. She was arrested and released from jail after charges against her were dropped. Bosley faces other legal issues. In June, he was federally indicted for wire and insurance fraud.
New video tonight showing a speeding car going airborne at the U.S.-Canadian border at Niagara Falls just before it crashed into a checkpoint building and causing a massive explosion. 2 people inside that car were killed. Officials now say there's no indication it was a terrorist attack. The crash closed the Rainbow Bridge and 3 other border crossings, and it led to heightened security on both sides of the border.
We could be just hours away from the release of 50 hostages kidnapped in the Hamas attack on Israel. Americans, including a 3-year-old girl, are expected to be among those released in the morning. The deal announced late last night includes a 4-day temporary ceasefire and humanitarian aid for Gaza. The temporary ceasefire could be extended for each day that Hamas releases an additional 10 hostages.
A rare opportunity this weekend for Cardinals fans. Thousands of items from Hall of Famer Lou Brock's personal collection will go up for sale.
They are being sold at patios starting Friday. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski got a sneak peek of the sale. Laura.
Mike and Ann, this sale is really special for the Brock family. Lou's wife, Jacqueline, says each piece in the collection meant so much to them.
Hats, pictures, baseballs, glasses, posters, and shoes are among some of the memorabilia items to be auctioned and sold from the late Lou Brock's personal collection. To his wife, Jacqueline Brock, these are more than just things.
These are treasures. These are memories. Everything that's there has such a profound memory and has such special value.
The staff at Caring Transitions is running the sale.
We transition people from where they are to kind of where they want to get to, where they want to be in terms of their items.
Angie Kwasny says they got to hear the stories of each item as they went through Brock's things piece by piece with the woman he loved for more than 24 years.
To see somebody have such dedication and love for one person in his memory, as Mrs. Brock does have for him, it's like something everybody would love to have in their life.
You'll see things from his days as a player for the Cubs and even more from his time with the Cardinals, where he made history becoming a member of the 3,000 Hits Club, stealing bases, and more importantly, caring for his community.
Everywhere we went, people told their stories. To Lou, I've heard every story story you can imagine. Lou was always patient and allowed them to share their special memories.
And now she wants fans who loved him to take home a little piece of his historic life.
I would want the fans to know that Lou loved them even the more, and for them to have a piece of Lou's legacy, his history in their homes, I'm believing would be so special to him if he was yet here with us.
The sale starts on Friday at Patios Bar next to Busch Stadium with a special ticket-only event. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it's open to the public with new items put out each day. And most of those funds will be going back to the family and their foundation. We'll have all that information that you need on KSDK.com.
Thanksgiving is not a holiday for firefighters.
We will be busy tomorrow. Yeah, we're sure of that.
The common mistake that could turn your gathering into a disaster. 'Tis the season to shop until you drop, and drop a lot of cash. Tonight we're helping you make ends meet with ways to give without busting your holiday budget.
While we do have the S word in the forecast, any impacts are expected to be minimal to those traveling this weekend, but we are tracking another cool down.
Thanksgiving is one of the busiest days for firefighters. Metro West Fire Protection District says they see 3 times the amount of calls they get on a regular day, many starting in the kitchen. If a fire starts in your oven, keep the door shut and call 911. As for grease fires on your cooktop, do not use water.
We want to put a lid or a cookie sheet on top of that pan, and that will extinguish that fire. We don't want to put water on a grease fire. It reacts chemically, and so it makes basically a big explosion there that's going to go all the way up to the ceiling. And now you're talking about your cabinets, your ceiling, other things.
Firefighters urge you not to wait to call 911. They also recommend having a working fire extinguisher nearby.
Tonight, a dark cloud is hanging over the holiday shopping season. Many retailers are forecasting sales to drop from a year ago. Moody's Investors Service says consumers are losing spending steam amid persistent inflation, rising interest rates, and the resumption of student loan payments. The holiday shopping rush stretches from Black Friday to Cyber Monday and stretching all the way, for some of us, to Christmas Eve.
And if you're not careful, it can stretch your budget too far. In tonight's Making Ends Meet, Michelle Lee has new tips to help you stay out of the red.
You'll hear the word budget over and over again, but financial experts say it's the key to not overspending on the holidays. Financial planner Jill Sachs does this for a living, but the holidays call for a little extra mindfulness, even if you haven't saved for gifts.
What if people haven't saved and it's the week of Thanksgiving, you're thinking about Black Friday? Do you have any advice for people?
I think you need to think hard about what's important to you during the holidays. What are your values, and is it going to be better for you to have spent more money, or is it going to be better for you to have spent more time?
To avoid overspending, think of themes: something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read.
Set some parameters so everyone in the family is on the same page. You don't have to overspend. Something to wear could be socks. Something to read, books are not terribly expensive.
Making a list and sticking to it is another great piece of advice.
Don't go in unprepared. Impulse buys are really probably what push a lot of people over the edge. If you know what you're getting for each person and you have a budget for each person, then you probably are less likely to overspend.
And don't forget about experience gifts or ones that are homemade.
So if you know that you want to take them to Six Flags in the summer, you can defer that cost until, 6 months from now. We have a friend who makes her Italian grandmother's pasta sauce for all of her friends and neighbors every year and writes a really nice note and puts it in a cute little bag. So that helps her feel like she's given to a lot of people and knocks it all out in one shot. She makes a giant pot in her kitchen every year.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And of course, if you miss planning this year, then get a jump start next year. There's no reason to go into debt just to buy someone a last-minute tchotchke. Being mindful can save you money in the long run. For Making Ends Meet, Michelle Lee, 5 on your side.
Some banks even help you set up a Christmas club. First Community Bank in St. Louis is one. It helps you save for the holidays and even gives some competitive interest rates. Most people set those up in January and the funds come out in late fall.
Tonight, 49 giant balloons are ready to go for tomorrow's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Onlookers gathered on the streets of New York City to watch crews inflate them. The 97th annual parade will also feature dozens of floats, several musical performers like Cher, and 12 marching bands, including the Marching Panthers of O'Fallon Township High School. Congratulations to them. You can watch it all here on 5 on Your Side. It starts tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. And we're just hours away from the 39th annual Ameren Thanks for Giving Parade in downtown St. Louis. More than 120 floats, dance groups, drum lines, marching bands from across the region will take part, and Santa will be there too. That parade steps off at 9 a.m. at the corner of Broadway and Market near Keener Plaza and the old courthouse, then heads west down Market, ending at the Stiefel Theater at 14th Street.
3, 2, 1. Flip that switch.
Our chief meteorologist Scott Connell was there earlier tonight as they flipped the switch at a St. Louis holiday tradition in St. Louis County. Winter Wonderland in Tillis Park opened for the season. It's now open to cars every night from 5 until 9, except Christmas Eve. The cost is $20 per car. 5 on Your Side is a proud sponsor of Winter Wonderland. There are several other holiday displays and events you can take part in this weekend. Just text the word holiday to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you the full list to your phone.
And let's get to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the weather first forecast. Second time's the charm.
Yeah, always just love seeing the kids, though, with the Christmas lights. It's just so magical. And they were riding through, you know, looking at it this evening. Just an outstanding evening. It's going to be an outstanding day tomorrow for the parade. It'll come right down Market Street, ending right about there. And so it's going to be very nice. We're expecting a lot of sunshine because skies have cleared out. There are a couple of little patches of high thin clouds dropping in from the north. We are about as cold, I think, as we're going to see in many cases, especially outlying areas, for the remainder of the night. We've already dropped into the 20s in some spots, like Warrenton's down to 29, 30 in Farmington, up through DeSoto to Chesterfield to St. Charles and Alton, 31 over in Effingham, 28 in Mount Vernon. Right now, Lambert's at 38 degrees. We are mostly clear. The winds are fairly light, but notice they're turning a little to the southwest. The warmer air is going to start filtering back in, at least aloft overnight. 49 was our high for the day with that sunshine this afternoon after the clouds cleared. Again, we're getting pretty close to our lows in some of the outlying areas. A frosty start for a lot of us tomorrow morning as temperatures kind of plateau here during the overnight hours. Sunshine's going to boost us quickly. By lunchtime tomorrow, we're back into the 50s, mid-50s for highs tomorrow afternoon. Going to be good for the Macy's Day Parade tomorrow, too, as this system continues to push offshore. We have the mainly clear skies now, just a few high thin clouds from now into tomorrow. It's otherwise bright and beautiful. Here comes unsettled weather out to the west, though, and this effectively translates into an active weather pattern this weekend, but one that doesn't produce a lot of precipitation for most of us. So temperatures on Friday, we already know tomorrow is going to be delightful, right? It's about 10 degrees cooler on Friday, and we have much more cloud cover. Saturday, the clouds are thickening during the day. The system's going to come at us from the west. Don't be alarmed. Yes, there is a little snow in the forecast here, especially parts of mid and northern Missouri up into parts of west central Illinois. It's all extremely light. Ground temperatures are warm. The precipitation is just going to flat out be so light that the main impact would be roads might get a little bit wet. We're talking about a few hundredths of an inch here as far as melted snow and rain. And so that's not going to be able to cause problems. And by later Sunday, it's all pushing out. The areas to watch for snow accumulation back into parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, as we head into Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Again, anything that falls north and west of St. Louis, and perhaps even a few flakes in the metro area, will tend to melt as temperatures will be right around or a little above freezing, and the ground temperatures and road temperatures certainly are. Having said that, it is kind of a chilly weekend here. Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at low 40s, maybe a little clearing late in the day on Sunday, and then going into next week, we'll start to warm things up by the middle of next week, back into the 50s again.
All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, we had the Blues in action, the basketball Tigers in action, and I will tell you how free agency is like Christmas season for baseball people.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
I promise you the last thing that Craig Berube wants from his hockey team is to get involved in a high-scoring, explosive game. That's not the Blues or Berube, but they are in one tonight in Arizona. Scoreless first period, Braden Chen, breakaway. This is his 6th goal of the season and the 600th point of his career. A little later in the first, Brandon Saad, Colton Parayko, he unleashes a 90-mile-per-hour bomb, 2-1 Blues. The Blues scored 2 shorthanded goals in the second. Here's the second from Alexei Torchenko. 10 goals in 2 periods, and both goalies were yanked. Joel Hofer for Jordan Binnington there. And later, Robert Thomas will even the game at 5 on this rebound goal. Right now, the Blues lead it 6-5 in the 3rd period. The Dennis Gates honeymoon at Mizzou ended on Sunday night when Jackson State hit that shot to beat the Tigers. Jackson State was 0-5. They were ranked 309th in the country. But you are allowed a hiccup. You just can't have 2 in a row. Tonight, South Carolina State came to Dennis Gates' gym, and they led by 16 in the first half. Then the 7'5" center, Connor Vanover, will drain a 3. Looks like Dirk Nowitzki there. And Mizzou took off. Nick Honor, 3 of his 14. This is an 18-2 run by the Tigers. Aiden Shaw, with feeling, throws it down. Have you seen the coach ever smile in a basketball game? How about this? A 2-handed block by Shaw. He says, get it out of here. Sean East had 21, and a nice assist to Noah Carter. Mizzou rolls 82-59. Mizzou football fans, join us for Sports Plus Sunday. Mizzou made a tribute to the past and present of Mizzou football. Coach Drink will join us, and we will have the Brady Cook story. One of Brady's favorite targets is Theo Weiss. On Saturday, he provided the longest play of the season. He turned a short pass into a 77-yard touchdown. The 5-star Oklahoma transfer is averaging a robust 14 yards a catch this season. And Theo, did you surprise some people with that speed?
I feel like a lot of people were surprised that I had that. I'm glad I put it on tape, though, let everybody see it. It really wasn't as fast as everybody think it was. I could have, kicked it into another gear, but I didn't really have to because I almost ran out of bounds. But, we good.
Finally tonight, many Cardinal fans had such a great sense of anticipation for the offseason. When you've suddenly become a last-place team, what else do you have but hope? And the last 2 days were like a child expecting a bike for Christmas and they got socks. I don't quite feel that way. I mean, if Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson give you 400 innings and 28 wins, which they did last year, then it's pretty good. However, not to sound like the bratty child at Christmas, it's not enough. We need the shiny bike / elite starting pitcher, likely 2 of them. Here's the thing. It wouldn't matter if Whitey or Tony were managing this team. If you don't have aces, it's over. And if they don't outbid a team on a great free agent starter, one of their 2 franchise players may have to be traded to get pitching. And I certainly don't want to trade Nolan Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt. But when you've had your worst season in 33 years, everything is on the table. And that's frankly speaking for tonight.
Frank, thanks.
And once again, 5 on Your Side is teamed up with the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition for the Little Wishes campaign. So we're looking to grant more than 4,000 holiday wishes for area kids impacted by foster care. You can attend the in-person shopping day Saturday, December 2nd at Circle of Knowledge in Sunset Hills. You can also go to ksdk.com/littlewishes to purchase a gift. We'll be right back.
So it is a bittersweet night for those of us who work on the 10 p.m. newscast here on 5 on Your Side. This is Ann's last night on the late shift. Bringing you the news every night is challenging these days because some days it seems the world is out of control. So you really need a partner who has your back. And for the last 10 years, for me, that's been Ann. 10 years goes by fast, but a lot has happened for Ann in the last decade, including the birth of her beautiful daughter, Nora, and of course the kidney transplant that saved her life. But through it all, she's been a pro's pro for our viewers. There she is.
I'm going to
best-
kill you.
And the best partner anyone in this job could hope to have. Now, Ann is not leaving us, thank goodness.
Yes.
We'll still be together every night at 6 o'clock, but the time has come for Ann to spend her evenings at home with her family. Kelly Jackson will be joining us at 10 o'clock beginning on Monday. But Ann, I think I can speak for all of us here at the desk when I say we're really going to miss you on the late shift. You want to say anything?
Thank you. You guys have become best friends, far more than coworkers, and it is bittersweet. But it was the right timing and the right thing to do. But I'm just overwhelmed, trying not to cry too much. But I love you guys, and you're the best.
But we
and
still
you're
get to
wonderful
see you.
friends. I
Yes.
know, but we have our
Yes,
thing.
I
You know,
know.
we really have a special bond, and you make me laugh harder than anybody.
Well, we have great conversations off the air.
We
and
do,
and
we
we'll
do.
continue to do that. And I know it's really important for you to be at home with Nora at night because that's something you haven't been able to do since she's been born.
That's true, but I am so happy to be continuing on at the 6 o'clock news, and we weren't even supposed to say anything, you little sneaks.
That's right. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Have a great Thanksgiving.